Hi Libra, hope you guys are doing great today. Let's get right into your general messages for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the 22nd to the 29th of February. I split this deck in half because it's really quite big. So in order to get a good shuffle, I just break it into two. So I hope you guys are doing great. Again, this is general messages, guys. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. And certainly check your rising sun, moon sign, and your Venus sign. And remember, the energies can always be flip-flop. So I hope you guys are doing well today. This is going into the end of February. Can you believe it? So we have a lot going on. Not too much, but what we do have is pretty big. We do have this new moon in Pisces. It's marking the beginning of a new cycle. This is a really good time to commit to personal goals that express the positive energies of Pisces, which is like taking a leap of faith, accepting the imperfections in ourselves and in others as a new and different kind of perfection, right? It's starting a project that requires a lot of imagination and visualization skills, and just really consciously putting time aside for some peaceful and rejuvenating activities. You know, not being afraid to let yourself dream in this energy. This is a very potent Pisces energy, giving us the chance to make important changes in our lives. This is for all of us, right? You know, because we do have this new moon is especially creative and forward-looking, because it has very harmonious aspects to Mars, the nodes of the moon, and Uranus. So this is especially going to be profound for anyone with any sort of mutable energies in their chart. You know, I mean, you guys are a Libra energy, right? But you can have these other mutable energies, which would be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, or Pisces, having to do with your rising, your moon, your Venus, whatever. If you have those placements at 4 degrees and 29 minutes, around there, give or take a degree, you're going to be feeling this even more. So this is a really nice energy. So let's get into your cross, and then we'll talk about it. 2 of Wands, nice start. Okay, you see a new direction for yourself. Yeah, so this new moon on the 23rd is just going to really be motivating you to take charge of your health, well, self-care initiatives, work, you know, new perspectives. There might be a project going on in your life that's in its development stages right now. So this could have to do with something to do with work, or even your relationship is in its development stages that ends up consuming a lot of your attention. Or you could be handling matters that help you feel and get more organized and feel more confident and control in your life. You know, which is a really good energy. You're just going to feel very motivated right now to problem solve, to rearrange or reorganize your setup, your living arrangements in some way, reorganize how you do something in your life. But this is kind of like a turning point of sorts, guys, for you, for Libra. You know, moving you guys from a state of indecision to increased clarity. Even if your path isn't fully illuminated yet, you're definitely going to be seeing things and feeling things where there's going to indicate, there's change indicated. Absolutely. So you're coming into this energy with the Empress. I really like this because this is, first of all, it's a Venus energy, and Venus is about, you know, Venus is the planet of love, but it's also our connection to money and our values and our sense of self-worth. And self-love, so I do like that. It's also the mother of the tarot, right? Perpetually pregnant. So this is all about growth, taking a seed, cultivating it, growing it, and birthing it, and then doing it again. So I get that many of you have been in this space of very much working very actively on your life about pushing it forward. Now, for those of you who maybe haven't been able to do it, when I say in the 3D, I mean where there's a lot of planning going on, but you might be, you still may have been in the process of planning everything, and I feel like you're still in that process, but still nonetheless pushing your life forward in a very productive way. And then we have the 2 of Wands as the situation right now. So 2 of Wands is recognizing that there's a new path right in front of you that's really starting. This is a Mars and Aries energy. And Mars is about, you know, boom, let's go. Aries is the ruler of the zodiac. It's the emperor. It's about being in charge and recognizing with the passion in your belly, because this is definitely a very fiery energy, where your next steps are going to go. You know, this is about you building this brand new chapter and starting it with a lot of passion. So very, very positive beginning here. We have the 7 of Cups. Not surprising, right? This is crossing you. So this is a Venus and Scorpio energy. This is really just about not knowing all the information yet. Because sometimes Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto's all about transformation. And a lot of times when we go through these transformations, we simply don't have all the information that's necessary or available to us. You know, we could feel and know that we're going in the right direction, which I feel like you are, right? Because it's got that Venus vibe to it. So it's going in a positive direction, but you're just not sure about everything. You know what's in 5 of the cups, you don't know what's in 2. Right? That's how this works, right? We know one is like higher consciousness, one is wisdom, one is the ultimate utopia, one is, you know, having everything that you need, all of that. But then there were these 2 cups who were just like, I don't know what's in it. So you just don't know what's around the bend. And that's perfectly normal right now, I feel like. So from crowning you is the 6 of Swords energy. So this is recognizing that you're coming from a space somewhere in your psyche, somewhere in your energy, that you're recognizing that you were involved in something in your past that was not good for you. There was some sort of toxicity that you needed to extricate yourself from and go towards something way more positive that was just better for you, period. Now, for many of you, you might be in this space where you're not able to actually leave it yet. You may still this is a general message, guys, so I have to give the different perspectives that this energy can mean. Some of you may have left already. Others of you may be very actively entrenched in the idea of, all right, I'm planning now how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to leave this toxic situation. Because sometimes we can't just up and leave a relationship, a job. You just can't do that. But it's about planning and figuring out how you're going to be moving forward to move yourself away from this less than healthy situation that you have yourself involved in or had yourself involved in. Okay, again, it's the energy is here as the crowning. And we have the 4 of Coins as the foundation. So the 4 of Coins is about, for many of you, it's going to be about feeling very self-protective, right? But it's about knowing what is necessary to move yourself forward. This is a Sun in Capricorn card. So the Sun is a very positive movement forward. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It's about putting in that hard work and recognizing what's necessary to move something forward. Now, for some of you, if this has to do with a relationship, this is recognizing what you really need in a relationship as far as mental, physical, and emotional connection. You very much being in touch with that. A lot of you are in a mode of self-protection because you are being very cautious about how much you're willing to give of yourself in a relationship at this point, because you just don't know all the information. You just don't know. Now, for others of you, you might be in this space where you're working really hard and you're saving your money in order to have more for later on, right? So it's this idea of preserving right now in order to have later. A lot of people call this the card of the miser or the miserly energy. And I kind of think it gets a bad rap in that way. Because for many, it's about just recognizing that you're going to need later on, and for you to just really sort of put yourself in self-preservation mode right now. So it could certainly have to do with how much of yourself you're giving in a relationship or how much you're allowing yourself to spend financially. For many of you, having to do with career itself, it could be you only giving just so much of yourself because you're only getting just so much back. You know what I mean? Like knowing that you have more value, more worth, and more in you to give, but you're just not being compensated. So you're just doing just enough. So this is really more of like a just enough energy, if that makes sense. So that's your foundation. Now, you right now, representing you right now, we have the Hangman reverse. So this is about you reflecting on a past situation or some sort of past ideal that you had in your mind that you might be looking at through rose-colored glasses, where you're idealizing it a little more positively than it actually was. And the reality of this energy is that if you return to something in the way that you think it was in the rearview mirror, you know, because sometimes we do that. Sometimes and this is part of the human condition. So this is not exclusively to Libra, though this is the energy right now for you guys, is that you might be remembering something a lot more positively that if you do go back to, you're going to end up more of a victim in that circumstance than the victor. You're not going to be happy if you go back to something that you were at one time a part of, very entrenched in. And you know, you have to understand that with the Hangman reverse energy, it's this pause situation, right? It's also very Neptunian, and Neptune rules that 12th house of lack of clarity, of dream space. So you might be allowing yourself to fantasize about something a little too much, and maybe reflecting on something from your past, applying it to a present situation that you're in. But there's a lack of clarity here, guys, and it's typically due to fear. You know, returning to something from your past because you know it. There's a safety in familiarity, right? Even though it might not be actually what's very good for us, you know, does it make sense? So that's where you're at right now. And what's crossing you here is the Seven of Swords energy. So the Seven of Swords is the card of thievery. There's a very particular type of conflict, though, with this energy, okay? Now remember, swords are words and swords are truth. So when we combine this idea of truth with conflict and thievery, there's this bastardizing of truth. So this can easily be seen as someone wearing a false mask, and you recognizing someone in your life wearing a false mask, some sort of situation in your life not being what you thought it was going to be. So this could easily be applied to, obviously, a relationship where you're involved with somebody and they've been presenting themselves as a certain way, and all of a sudden you're realizing that's not who they are at all. You can easily apply the same kind of thinking to a friendship, even a family connection, guys. Seriously, like, especially if a family member's not in your everyday. You know, maybe you weren't really in close connection with them for a while, and you reconnect and you're like, wow, you know, this is not even, they're not who I thought they were. This could also absolutely have to do with a job, where you get a job and you were given a certain job description. And you're like, this is not at all what I thought it would be. This could absolutely have to do with a major in school where you're deeply entrenched in studying something and you're like, this is so not what I envisioned it in my mind to be. You know, but this is external to you, and you being in this place of, all right, now what do I do kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because you're in that hangman reverse, and you're afraid of something ending, though. You're afraid to end something or to have something end on you. The Tower is always the ending of something that wasn't meant to be on your path, whether it's a relationship, a job, a way of thinking. This is very, very often in Tower. People get very flipped out by the Tower energy. First of all, this is in your fear position. So it doesn't mean that it's actually happening. You're afraid of something ending. You're afraid of ending something. Now, this can be a relationship. It can certainly be leaving a job. It can be changing a career path altogether, changing majors in school. Making that change, because the Tower, when it comes to internally, this can be us realizing a way of thinking has not been healthy. A way of thinking needs updating. The way we've been thinking about our connection to something in life needs to be changed, and that old way of thinking needs to be ripped down so that a new way of thinking can be put in its place. Or this can actually be the ending of something. It's going to be something different for each of you, because this is a general reading. But what I like about it, and the reason I'm feeling like it's internal, Libra, I have to tell you, because it is in your fear position, and then we have the Ace of Coins next to it as the result. So it can be this final decision to cut that final energetic tie in a relationship, a connection, making that final decision to move out and doing it, making that final decision to leave that job, making that final decision to stop thinking in that way. That way of thinking is not serving you. But it's the ending of that thing so that a new energy can come in, and it certainly is with the Ace of Coins. Love this energy. I love the Ace of Coins energy, probably the best out of all of them, because it represents so much. For those of you in a career, you know, with a career on your mind, you getting into something that's going to be a lot more benefic for you, having to do with your finances. So this can be switching jobs. This can be changing careers altogether. This can be changing majors in school and ending up in something that you resonate with on such a more visceral level that ends up being far more beneficial for you in the long run and bringing you more money. But if this has to do only with if you're here with a relationship on your heart, the Pentacle energy also means emotional, mental, and physical connection. Guys, that's everything. That's how we do relationship. It's how we communicate. It's our intimacy. It's our social life within that connection. It's all of that. And this indicates a new start and a healthier way of seeing something. There's a lot of clarity going on here. Lots of clarity and a different way of thinking. And then look at this as the near future card. Come on. This is beautiful. King of Pentacles. Aries and Taurus. Fresh eyes. Fresh perspective. And Taurus, while Taurus is also a pentacle energy, Taurus is also ruled by Venus. Again, the planet of love, the planet of our connection to money, our sense of self-worth, our values. And this is just being very in the know and in charge of, because remember, Aries is the emperor. Aries are the leader of the zodiac. So this is about feeling very, first of all, very passionate, very confident, very in charge, very peaceful inside of yourself, because you're owning your own decisions to move forward. You're owning your own life and you're owning your own path. And that's what this is. Love it. You're going to be making money for yourself. You're going to be figuring out what you need emotionally, mentally, physically, and you're going to be bringing that to yourself. Love this. This is just such a long-awaited energy for you guys. I really like it. So good. Lots of clarity here, Libra. Loving it, loving it. Good, good, good. Now let's pull some love oracles for those of you in a space of love. Not everybody is. So remember, guys, these are general messages. Now, this can be connected to your Celtic cross spread, but it doesn't have to be. Your Celtic cross spread could have had to simply do with like career, you know, a friendship, a family connection, school, anything like that. And this could be having to do with love. That's what's tough about the general messages, right? We'd love it if we could all just turn on every sign with every reader and have everything be a personal reading for each of us, right? It'd be so neat. It doesn't work like that, though. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll pull 3 of each of these and then we'll talk about it. I don't read these in reversals, by the way. Okay. Let me just pull the cards and then we'll talk, okay? Because sometimes it's the clarifiers that pull it all together, so we're not being too repetitive. Okay, well, my cat is crying outside. Okay. Interesting combination of energies we have here, I'll tell you that. Okay. I'm just going to pull the Arcanum Tarot. These I will not read in reverse either, to keep with the energy of the non-reversals for the oracles. Okay, so very interesting set of energies, guys, I have to tell you, because we have here the honeymoon card to begin. This is enjoy the bliss of a holiday time together. So, you know, that metaphorical honeymoon space. This doesn't literally mean you guys are going, oh, some of you may be, right? But it's that, you know, being in that honeymoon phase. But now the energies that are inflecting this, we have the Axe, which is breakup, separation, but stopping the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Now, it could mean one of those or all of those things. So when we say stopping the pattern, this could be some sort of cycle that keeps coming up in your relationship that you need to actively work on stopping. You just need to end a certain negative cycle. Now, for others of you, this could certainly be, I'm going to give the different interpretations and you take however it resonates. Some of you may be in a newer relationship now, right, in that beautiful beginning honeymoon stage, because you have broken up with somebody and you're in separation with a past relationship where there is this idea of abandonment and this breaking off from something unhealthy that you were involved in, as a way, like you making a definitive decision to stop an unhealthy pattern within a connection that you were involved in, and allowing yourself to be in this new connection, and you're in that beautiful new honeymoon phase of a relationship. Then we have embrace. Through each other you find the missing pieces. And then we have here the Four of Cups energy. So the Four of Cups is this idea of feeling very disillusioned, very restless. For some of you might even be feeling a little bit bored, but more than anything, what I'm getting is that checklist vibe, right? You identifying things in a connection that absolutely did not work for you. Really didn't work for you. So I'm going to tell you what I'm getting here. I'm getting, there are a couple of energies here, Libra. This is what I'm getting. That you are in an unhealthy relationship that you ended, that you still have in your energy fields, but you are in something new, because we have two very benefic energies here. And then we have two energies that sort of I'm getting a past vibe, but a recent past vibe. Okay, so if this is not you right now, this is going to be you, where something is ending because of recognition that somebody was not showing up the way that they needed to, and you being very clear and being able to identify whether the communication wasn't bad, they weren't bringing what they needed to the connection, there was a lot of deflection, narcissistic behavior, anything like that, and you recognizing the unhealthy in that and making the decision to cut that out of your energy and allow yourself to move forward. And when you allowed yourself to move forward, you ended up meeting somebody that is really going to be very positive for you. You're going to really enjoy this person's energy. And you are going to find like those missing pieces that you've been feeling in your heart in each other. That's not to say that you're incomplete without this new person. That's not what I mean at all. But it's that space in your heart that's been vacant because of what you haven't been getting from this person who you've been with. And this being a new love coming in that feeds you. But while you're in the energy, you're going to be vacillating inside yourself, where you're with this new person, you are showing up, you're doing all the stuff that you're supposed to be doing in that relationship, but that person is still kind of in your energy field, that past person. Does that make sense? Okay, I feel like this is a pretty specific message, guys, just going into it. Then we have unrequited love. So there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Okay, then we have, as a clarify for that, the sword and the rose. So this clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, protection, power. Okay, so there's this this new awareness, there's this clarity. I mean, honestly, Libra, for all of you, this is a time of such great clarity for you. Really great clarity. Absolutely. Great clarity. We're going to pull it all together. Let's go down the whole row. And then we have sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. So we have clarity. We have revelation. We have sexual union. Then we have the Seven of Swords. It's the card of thievery. This is the card of somebody wearing a mask. So Libra, is it you that's wearing a mask in this relationship while you're still sort of nursing somebody from your past, where your feelings might not be 100% for this new person, even though you're going along with the motions of this connection, of really trying to embrace each other, find that missing piece. You're going through all the motions, but you're just not feeling enough attraction or chemistry where this relationship is going to be able to continue going. And it's you really trying to be honest with yourself. You're really trying to be very honest with yourself, but there's some sort of sexual attraction to somebody in your past that you still feel very connected to. And I feel like a lot of you are wearing this kind of mask in your life right now with somebody that you're sharing this intimate space with. Okay, we're going to come back to that. We'll get more clarifiers on that. Then we have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Then we have girl with a snake, empath and narcissistic paradigm, being charmed or used, enable, boundary issues. So Libra, I feel like some of you might be coming from a space where there was a very unhealthy past with your family connection. There's a lot of controlling behaviors going on here, but not in a very positive way. And there's something in this dysfunctional connection that has pushed you to be involved in a dysfunctional mindset when it comes to relationships. There is an unhealthy issue here that's needing to be healed that ended up affecting your love life. But I feel like the family issues that you're needing to heal are issues that ended up creating a situation where you became like the empath in this empath and narcissistic paradigm, or it could certainly be that you were the narcissistic tendencies. It doesn't mean that you have narcissistic personality disorder, but where it's, and listen, forgive yourself if this is you, if you're resonating with it in a very honest way, because you have to be honest with yourself if you are resonating with this. When we say narcissistic tendencies, those things, first of all, are made in us. They're not born. We're not born like that. Those are, really adopted through survival techniques that we have to incorporate into our being as young children if we're in a very dysfunctional environment where we're not getting what we need. So we realize that we have to give ourselves what we need if we're going to have our needs met. And then when you grow with that mindset, narcissistic personality disorder is horrible, and it's a dysfunction that you have to have 5 out of the 10 qualities, and that's a diagnosable disorder. But when we say qualities or tendencies, it doesn't mean you have the disorder. It just means that you don't exactly know how to think about others first before yourself. And that could be as a way of self-survival, though, and self-protection, and just something to look at. Don't beat yourself up about it if that's the situation. That's normal if you were born in a very dysfunctional family. A lot of us that have gone through periods like that, absolutely. And we have a message for you. I'm thinking of you at this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. And then we have star. And the star, I like the star card because the star is all about healing. It's an Aquarius energy, which means it's healing because things are going to be handled in a different way. Okay, so I'm going to give you the 2 interpretations that I'm getting from this, wrapping it all up, bringing it together. Some of you are making the decision to actually leave this energetic field that was like super toxic, allowing yourself to open up to something new, but you're having a really hard time kind of pulling yourself away from that past energy and vacillating, feeling like this person doesn't have enough for you, and then they have enough, but then they don't have enough. You're attracted, but then you're not attracted enough. You're still thinking about past this intimacy with the other person. It's inhibiting your ability to be completely present with the new person. But then you're realizing that a lot of this is happening because of past dysfunctions that you've been exposed to, right? That you've sort of adopted into your psyche, and you really want to make the changes. So you want to heal those old issues. You really want to understand any areas where you might have been sabotaging yourself in relationships in general, and recognizing the absolute beauty of the person right in front of you, this person who really wants to be there for you. So you guys going through a bit of a hard time, but then finally finding this space of healing where you're really accepting and letting and willing to let go of that negative toxic energy to allow this positive person, this positive energy into your life to love you. Okay? Now, for others of you, I feel like all of that is the case. However, you're making the decision to go back and try to heal something from your past, that you've really given it a good go with somebody new. Somebody new is in your energy field, but you're realizing you're not ready to fully pull yourself away from this old energy, and you really want to try to heal it before moving forward with anybody new. You want to give this another chance. You want to give it another opportunity to flourish with a different perspective and greater clarity on your role in the whole situation, and being really honest about how they are, and sort of revisiting it with a new perspective in a new way in order for it to grow. So I get that those are two very specific but distinct narratives that I'm getting here from the love section. So I hope this was helpful to you guys in some way, and thank you so much for your time. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it. It will help my channel grow. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.